So we will start. Bună dimineața. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the session of Prof. Conta. I would like to introduce you to Kazian Sabau, who is the General Manager of Prof. Conta, and he will tell you everything about the digital transformation with RPA. Kazian, the floor is you. I have just to tell you that, let's say in the middle of the webinar, I will leave because I have another appointment. So Elena will take over, which should be no problem. Okay, Kazian, go ahead.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. First of all, everything is okay. Alan, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Today I will be presenting together with my colleague Gabi, which is manager of the RPA team. First of all, between two type of presentations, very shortly, I hope you can see the screen. About our firm, we are around 40 persons within the firm with overall high experience, accounting services, reporting, added value services. Among these services, we have the RPA. We started in 2019. Since then, we did a lot of robots during the pandemic as well. When we surely realize, as well as all the other, that automation is coming very fast, and it will be a very fast switch. It is a very fast switch from nice to have to need to have. So it's not anymore nice to have a thing, nice to have. It's a thing that all of us need to have we have it already from the mobiles that we are using every day, from laptops and everything. We are just not realizing very thoroughly. So we need to put, this is the conclusion, to put more automation in our work. What we've done in the past is the past. The work with many hours through repetitive work, documents, paper, everything almost entirely related with paper, it will be forgotten in the past. We will keep the important things from the past, but automation, it's coming for sure. It's coming very fast. This is the management of our firm. We are from 2019 in the top of the firms from Czechar, top 10. Also, we got the last year, based on the 2022 figures, the place 19, the place 9, sorry, in the place 10 in the top of companies with foreign capital and mixed as well, mixed with Romanian. We are part of an important group with investments in a lot of areas. One of the investments is also Proprietăți Finconta. I will move to the main presentation now. For RPA, for each RPA, this is a part of our team related to the RPA projects. We have accounting managers in the project. We have the RPA team, manager, developers. We have colleagues on the analysis part, controlling, reporting, the analysis, which is very, very important as well in a project. On the high objectives of the RPA, I think it's very clear for everybody that on automation it's related first of all with reduction of repetitive activities, cost reduction, at the end of the day, elimination of human error, so more quality in what we are doing, for sure increase productivity. You know, a lot of persons that we have discussed with are interested in automation, but from the, I'm referring first of all to the Romanian market, but they are not prepared actually to start automating things within their firms. It's a threshold. Once you are starting with one robot, two robots, then you are there. Anything that is very clear, is very easy to take on more robots and to reduce the time and to be more efficient. The only problem is to pass this threshold. What I said before, to pass this phrase is nice to have, from nice to have to need to have. Okay, this is some of our examples that we've done, just a few of them. We will discuss about them today. Automation of supplier invoices, especially one example on utility invoices, reminders of unpaid invoices, automation of bank statements, automation of payments, VAT automation, because some of the ERPs we are using, some of the accounting, especially ERPs, they don't have proper localization of the taxes, so they are not producing entirely the VAT, the statements, the tax statements required. Other automation, of course, SAF-T, the statement 406, and raw e-invoice, which are the last examples, very clear examples of the fact that automation is here, and everything that will be happening in the future is related with the electronic information. And the Ministry of Finance is very clear in this aspect, also the European Union. Okay, Gabi, can you hear me?
Yes.
I will leave my colleague to present. I give the floor to you to present the examples. Please, Gabi.
Good morning. Here we have an automation of the utility invoices. And first, the solution takes the invoices from the email and centralize all that invoices in a folder. And then the solution export from the ERP the invoices that they are imported in other days. After that, extract the invoices that are related to that import day, and extract the invoice data from the invoices. The invoices will be distributed to the network by the supplier, and by date, day, month, year, and after that, the data extracted from the invoices will be imported in the ERP software or the accounting software. And at the final, the solution send an mail with the verifying the amounts from the invoices with the amounts imported in the accounting and the data from the import.
It is safe to say here that, okay, this is you can see in front of you an image, an extract of the interface of the robot. First of all, the main robots that almost the majority of the robots that we develop by now are done with UiPath, which actually is Romanian software. You know it is the leader on the automation market. This is how the robot looks like. What Gabi mentioned, this is an example of the emails that they are sent when after the invoices are imported in the ERP system. You can see here, correct, Gabi? You can see as well on your screen, on the type of the message, the final message sent by the robot, that
On
when
the observation,
correct, the
sorry.
confirmation of the imported invoices. When you have errors as well, you can see that we have a column with observation with some comments. This is due to the differences due to the roundings that rounding done by the supplier, for example, from NL or EON, and the rounding done by the ERP system. Here the robot puts as well some links to the invoices. You can see the beneficiary of the robot can see in the network as well the link to the invoices, and to check all the cases in detail if there are errors, and I don't know, maybe there is another line that it is included by the supplier, like the reductions that we had in the past for the energy. I can add that this is an example done, of course, before the e-invoice. Now it should be easier because we have all the data structured. When we did the robot, we are taking the information directly from the invoices, so we didn't have the information structured. We had to use different technologies embedded in UiPath in order to get the information out. The volume of the invoices were so high, so one person, for example, if you are putting one person to, this is an example with 20 invoices, but you have cases where we have hundreds of invoices, so it's reducing the work per day with hours. It's a difference of hours, which is very important per day. Gabi, please.
Okay. The second solution on the presentation is remind customers of unpaid invoices. This is an important solution because when you have a lot of clients that they need a reminder for pay their invoices, it helps when it's about a huge volume of data, when there are a lot of clients. And the solution has four steps. First, export the customer data from the accounting software or the ERP. Second, filter the customers for whom reminder is need. For example, the condition such as outstanding the balance is 10 greater than 10 row. And a third point, send an email to the client email address. The address is taken from the CRM application. And at the final, the solution transmit to the customer a status email, an intern email with the table of all reminders sent. And in that email, there are a few observations. For example, when the email address of the client is not in the CRM application. And this is useful for the people who is responsible for that client to contact the client or to check if they have the email address of the client on the contract. And what we see here is at the left, we see the situation sent to the client, and at the right, we see the situation sent internally to the management company, to the management of the company. And at the left, we inform the client that at that day, he has in our accounting situation, in our accounting evidence, the following invoices unpaid, and the value of the each with all data. And at the right, we see a situation with all the reminders sent.
A summary of all the balances.
Yes.
Correct. So if in the left we are sending the details of the invoices to the clients, on the right we have the total balance sent to the management. And in some cases, as Gabi said, if we don't have the email in the database, it's a note that is going to the responsible persons responsible with that point of work in the respective city to correct and to put the address in the database. So it's actually also a help to correct the database and in the future to collect faster the money. So Gabi, I think it is safe to say that this is also work. The robot is working with CRM. It's working with the ERP as well as with the email. In this case, correct?
Yes. The solution works with three softwares: the CRM, the ERP, and the mail, even is Outlook or other solutions.
Correct. Actually, you can put UiPath to work with all the application, the software that we are using. It's the same thing. In the previous example, we were taking the utility invoices from the emails as well, but we could have taken them also from the applications of the utility suppliers like Electrica, Aon, Enel, directly from the accounts. And we were working with the storage as well to put them structure on the storage. We were working as well with the ERP in order to import them in the ERP. Gabi, please, next one.
Automation of bank statements. is about API banking. API banking is a technology that helps us to connect our applications to the bank statements. Okay. The solution exports from the ERP or the accounting software the invoice status. After that, the solution uh, uh, select or take all the companies. We have two options for each company or for all companies. If we use all companies, the solution selects all the companies and takes data from the banking through the API banking for all the companies.
Because we have done our example on, we have more examples, but I think all of the examples are done with group companies, correct, Gabi?
Yes,
Every time we have group of companies, more than
yes.
one, please.
After that, extract the payments and the collections from the banks, from the bank, and then import the bank state transactions, even their receipts or payments, into the accounting software or the ERP, and at final send the status via email. Why is important to export the invoices from the ERP? It's important to export the invoices from the ERP because our solution try to find, for example, if we have a client who has paid 100 RON and he has a payment of 68 RON. The our solution cut the summer to close that invoice, and the other part of the payment move to another invoice.
So actually, as you, what you are saying, Gabi, we are, because it's happening in the practice all the time. When
Yes,
we are paying or when we are receiving amounts, if a client is paying, a client is paying round amounts, it is paying 2 or 3 or 4 invoices, maybe partially, with round amounts. Our solution can be, we can set in any direction you need. If within the contract it states, please close the invoices on FIFO basis, first in, first out, or please close the invoices as it is mentioned on the payment order. We are doing this first of all. Afterwards, maybe FIFO basis. At the end of the day, I think also legally it is required, first of all, to close the invoices as it is mentioned on the payment order. But we are taking care, we are taking into consideration of these aspects according to the contracts signed, for example, with the clients. Correct?
yes.
On the screen, we can see the message. Please, Gabi.
Yes, on the screen we have the message sent by the robot. And here is a situation with the account from the bank and with the deposits that that client has in the bank.
All the data related. As you can see on this example as well, all our robots are finalized mainly with an email. We have also verification tools included in the before the email, because these messages are not just messages, are messages that come together with some verification tools, checkup tools, in order to make sure that the robot is functioning correctly and in a qualitative manner. As you saw also on our example when we were importing invoices, that we see when there are the minor differences between the amounts from the invoice to the amount imported in the ERP system. If it is a difference of 0.01, we are mentioning that differences. That difference, it can be corrected automatically, or it can be corrected by the user. Gabi, please.
Automation of payments. This solution helps us to generate the payment process that involve all the bills we have to pay, and we have on that form another regulatory payments, for example, for the state or for another institutions that we have to
They are
pay.
necessary. They are not necessary suppliers.
Yes.
Taxis, for example, or city hall. Or I think it's also safe to say that a lot of us, when we are doing payments, we are not using a procedure or an automated system, especially when we are not using an ERP system. Or we have an ERP and the ERP doesn't have this function. So we are putting the payments in the bank. The responsible persons of from the accounting department or financial department or other persons, they are putting the payments by the hand. I think a lot of us know this, that the payments are done by the hand. So from this, we can have a lot of at least errors, especially when we have a lot of payments to be done on, let's say, a medium company. For example, from 100 payments to 200 payments per week or more than this. So doing this manually, even if we are doing copy paste in the bank application, it has a lot of risks. Gabi, if you can continue, please.
The solution export the unpaid invoices from the ERP or the accounting accounting software as a file. And then the can you change please the okay, thank you. Then the solution generate an HTML form with the data from the unpaid invoices and from the database with the suppliers IBAN. After that, the accountant check the payments and select which payments has to be done. Generate the file for the bank import, and at final the solution send the text file to the responsible to make the payments.
To import the TXT file, because all the banks, correct, Gabi?
Yes.
It's in all the majority of the banks, you can import a TXT file, structured file that has behind all the payments. Also, this is finalized with an email transmission of the final TXT file to the responsible person. What Gabi mentioned is that if what you can see here is taken from the accounting system, for example, supplier, these are invoices taken from the accounting system as outstanding invoices. Also, on the list here, there is a possibility to opt for this kind of other payments, for example, penalties and local taxes, fines, other taxes, local taxes, okay, other contributions, things that are paid normally and they are not these uh, kind of payments they do not have behind an invoice. So we cover this as well. The invoices, the payments that have suppliers with invoices and the payments that they do not have suppliers, they have other obligations as the taxes to the state budget. At the end, as Gabi mentioned, all these things, this file, you can see here a column and the responsible person with the payments, all responsible persons, they have through the email this list. They can opt here, yes or no, as you can see here. Yes, yes, yes. If you take the option yes, then this payment is going to the list, on the final list, is going to the TXT file. Otherwise, no. So you can leave out the things that they do not have, for example, the payment term, because it's going here, is going also according to the payment term from the accounting system. It has also the possibility to opt for the IBAN bank account, as you mentioned, correct, Gabi? So
Yeah.
if you have different IBAN accounts for the supplier, you can opt to use one IBAN account or the other. We have this as well. And at the end, after the responsible person is opting on the payment sending internally, you can make a procedure with this, sending to the person which has the approvals. The person is saying, correct, this is the list, and then you can have the final text file which is imported to the bank. So from the accounting system directly in HTML, from the HTML it's going to text file and then it's going to the bank without inputting by the hand amounts or looking in different screens to see what you have in accounting in order to put in the application of the bank. So actually this solution speaks about reducing errors, first of all. Reducing errors, also about efficiency if you have a high number of payments on a weekly basis or on a daily basis.
And here we have the final email with the unpaid invoices that there will be imported into the bank.
Okay, no questions by this time. If you have questions, please, or we can wait until the end of the example when we finalize with the examples to have your questions. I know that this is very technical. For you, it's also very linked with the reality. But on the other hand, it's very technical. Gabi, please, this is the VAT automation example.
VAT automation. Um, it's a solution that helps a lot of ERPs that they don't have the VAT solution for
Within the ERP system.
yeah. Our solution exports initially the balance, the purchase journal, and the sales journal. And then transferring all the amounts into the Excel file, and make a completion of the VAT file. Then export the final balance from the ERP, filling the VAT file and verifying the amounts, and at final send an email with the final related Excel files and a few value statements verifications.
This is again the image of the robot. Okay. The options, the buttons that they are doing all these steps. This is a summary of the we have here on the months, the purchases. I can see also all the amounts collected and deducted from the related with the VAT. Okay, this is a summary file done by the robot, month by month, and it takes to consideration. It starts next month from the opening figure. So it goes like this every month until the end of the year, and also next year it takes into consideration the figures from December, and so on and so forth. This is the part where it's taking all the data from the purchase ledger and sales ledger directly to the VAT statement. Correct, Gabi? And also
Yeah.
you can see here that there are some Excel sheets with the
Journal of
the
sales,
journal,
journal
yes,
of
correct.
purchase,
With the
VAT.
case with small companies with VAT on the receipt terms, also the trial balance, where we are doing some because we are doing the checks between everything with the sales journal, with the purchase ledgers, with the trial balance. We are doing the checks with everything in order to have a qualitative and correct VAT statement. So this is actually exactly all the roads from the statement, and then it's taken to this is taken to the PDF file to be submitted to the tax authorities.
And here we have the email sent with the if there are differences, and on each file right there, we have on behind we have a link to the location of the file on the storage.
Correct. To be consulted and also verified on the storage as well. And here is like this is a summary as well, like for the bank balances can be used by the management, like in the emails with the clients, used by the management as well. Here, this can be used as well by the management because the management can see, listen, at the end of the month we have thousand to be paid for VAT purposes. Okay, for this month. In our case, it's April. So it's not just informing the responsible persons from the accounting and financial departments, it's informing as well the management on the not only on possible differences, but on the amounts to be paid to the state budget. I think this is a big case. Please, Gabi,
um, saved
with the SAF-T.
SAF-T file. Preparing for SAF-T is crucial, as all accounting and tax-related information, and should be reported, depends, monthly, quarterly, or annually, or at the request of ANAF. Large taxpayers were required to submit to SAF-T file since 2022.
So we have already 2 years
Yes,
for compliance for them, for the large taxpayers. Please, Gabi, I will make a note afterwards on this.
and medium size taxpayers were required last year, and and they will be followed by the small taxpayers in the next year.
More or less everybody else.
Yes, all the taxpayers, there will be mandatory to report the SAF-T file. And the SAF-T file contains all the accounting data from a company. From the master file part, who has general ledger accounts, customers, suppliers, tax table, unit of measure table, analysis type table, movement type table, the products, the vehicle stock, the owners, and the assets. The GL, general ledger, contains all the journals from the accounting part.
Everything, all the transactions.
All the transactions, exactly. And those documents structure contains the sales invoices, purchase invoices, the payments, and also in the payments, they are also
Including the receipts.
including the receipts. Yes,
So actually we have the cash in and the cash out in there, even if on the English and on the Romanian version, they are saying the payments table. It's everything in there. Cash in, cash out.
yes, exactly. And also the source documents contains another two structures, movement of goods and asset transaction, but they are no mandatory.
On the assets side or the reporting needs, all the companies have, at least for the assets, one time per year. So it's an annual report. I think
Yes.
it's correct to say everything else it's required on a monthly basis, more or less. I think this is a huge step because now on the large taxpayers and on the medium-sized taxpayers, they have everything in there. Everything. If they have the general ledger entries, They have everything. In the general ledger, anyway, you can see the sales, the purchases as well, even if they are present in other tables. You can see payments, cash in, cash out. You have also the balances with the customers. Actually, customers, correct me if I'm wrong. Anyway, I know that I'm not wrong because we've done the solution from A to Z. We don't have customers actually. We have in there the receivables, correct, Gabi? So it's actually the receivables, not only the fact that it's my client. Maybe I have a receivable from other contract, as well as suppliers. We
Yes.
have the obligations in there, the liabilities actually. So we have everything going out to the tax authorities. I'm not saying this is correct. This is very correct because they can control in a real-time basis. Having in mind this, why we have put the fines in here, because their system is not designed at this moment fully, or is not connected fully with all the checkup measures. It will be. They published, I think it was last year in March or something, the document with 22 requirements, Gabi. I think last year, March, correct?
Yes, exactly.
Something like this. And they said, listen, guys, we have 22 checks that need to be done by you, not by me as Minister of Finance, by you. If you don't have these checks between everything, between the general ledger, the transactions and the sales and the purchases, with the VAT statement, for example, checks between the balances and the payments, cash in, cash out, if you don't have all of these 22 points, in the future, we will update our system and we will see the fact that there are errors, from basic errors to more important errors or systematic errors, and we will notify you to correct, or we will come to control. We will start putting questions. As you see here, there is this is, I think, the first proposal for them. It's in the law already, from 1,000 to 5,000 RON for not submitting on a monthly basis. But this is submitting of incomplete data or with errors. It doesn't matter if you have errors or it's incomplete. It's not correct. It's 500 to 100, 500 RON, probably per statement. If we have verified companies with on different accounting softwares, from basic accounting software like Saga to more developed, even if they are not ERPs, I don't know, Saga, CL, WinMentor, ERPs, Navision, SAP.
Socrate, for example.
Correct, which is ERP as well.
Yes.
So ERPs or non-ERPs, the conclusion was not even one company. We have verified quite a few companies. Not even one had submitted correct statements, because their requirements, why? Because the requirements of the ANAF are very detailed. They need to have a lot of things. They need to have codes on their taxes, tax types, tax codes. They need reconciliation. They need breakdowns for all the accounts, breakdowns that some of the companies, they didn't have for the past, I don't know how many years. So a lot of structured and organized data. In Romania, we don't have, let's say, as we saw, a situation when we have very structured data at the level of tax payers. So it's very difficult for the taxpayers to comply and to send at the end a correct statement. At the end, on the other hand, the guys which are doing accounting softwares, okay, they developed the systems, but they cannot have, for example, to have one solution which is customized and is good for everybody. So every taxpayer should go and to verify what has submitted and to see if they are, because the months are adding up. If you have 24, for the large taxpayers, we have already 24 months. For the medium size, we have 12 months. On 2025, you will see 36 months will come and so on and so forth. When they are coming, they are saying, listen, you have 48 months, 4 years or 5 years of uncorrected statements. Please correct them in 30 days. Any company in that position will have a very big issue. At the end, we have done a computation. Fines of, let's say, at least 10,000 euro up will be applicable. So they are not joking with this. They will use this system together with the e-invoice. They will use it with the data from the taken from the sales journal from the equipments used in the shops, not to record the cash-ins. They will connect with all the system in order to check up the information to see the problems. So actually, through algorithms, they will be controlling from the distance, and they will see a lot of problems. This is sure. The companies which are prepared and they want to be prepared, they should check at least this SAF-T statement and to correct what they have submitted already. Gabi, please.
Here is again the structure of the SAF-T file.
Correct. We mentioned before.
Yes. But at the master file, there are a few that they are mandatory. General ledger accounts, customers, suppliers, tax table, and the other, they are optional. They are not mandatory, but assets, they are annually mandatory every year. Here we have the XML code that contains the header and the master file structure.
Just to see a bit how it looks like. From their point of view. Okay, they are putting this data from this format, they are inputting the data in a very big database in ANAF. And with this, because this is just a way of taking out the information from the accounting softwares, but once it is out and is going to the Ministry of Finance, they can do analysis basically with everything. We were discussing internally as well that with the information from SAF-T file, you can do all the information on a monthly basis, on a yearly basis for the management. I have everything, P&Ls, trends, for the future, purchases, sales, everything. You can analyze everything based on the history. Also to have a prognosis for the future. They will do that. They will do that. Also in the future, more or less, I think also the audit companies will use this information in order to, because it's very simpler to, it's simpler to use this information to have this data structured, to take out the data and to do the analysis for audit purposes, the external financial audit. Imagine what ANAF can do with the data. It's correct to have this information to analyze it from the distance and to control from the distance, but beforehand, every company should make sure that the information that is going out to ANAF is correct. This is not a VAT statement. This is not a statement for the salaries. This is everything from the accounting software. So the companies should pay very much attention on this one. And the last example is with the raw invoice.
Raw invoice, yes. Raw invoice, it is mandatory for all business-to-business transactions in Romania, starting from January 2024. Non-residents taxpayers that are registered for VAT purpose in Romania will also be subject of the system of the invoice system. Our solution has an auto flow. The auto flow runs every day in background to take the invoices from the SPV and extract the data from the invoices from the selected companies. We are doing this using APIs. The process is full automated, and we take the bills, the invoices from the SPV, extract the data from the invoices, and import the data into the template file for import. In this case, we use WinMentor ERP that has for import an TXT file, and we use another file for nomenclators to have all the data necessary for the import. And
please, Gavin.
And a third point, we import that file into the accounting software or the ERP. And this is.
The big thing here, it's when we are discussing, because everybody is very attentive now to this subject, e-invoice. At the beginning of the year, there are some steps to be taken until the middle of the year. Our examples takes care first of all on the supplier side, because pushing into the SPV the invoices is one thing, which is more or less easy. But this part with the suppliers, this is a case that it will be present, I think, to the majority of the companies, because it's changing everything. Now, for example, the suppliers are recorded based on the invoices sent via emails. We have electronic form, paper form, at least two parts coming through email, coming through with the couriers on different formats. On the system, raw invoice, it is clear. Okay, we will use starting with July only this system, and so everything will be on electronic. So why not to use this thing in order to automate all the suppliers recording? This is our case. First of all, importing the accounting software means to import as well data with the related accounts, uh, expense accounts with the related profit centers or cost centers with all the necessary data for each company. So from the manual import from the recording invoices manually, I think it's very clear for everybody that starting with this year, at least this part is going to be automated slowly to fully, from partially automated to fully automated. There are checkups and a lot of steps to be done until this system it is
Yeah.
functioning correctly, because we saw, even if in this month, a lot of errors, at least from ANAF side. They will correct these errors.
Hát mostan írtam neki, hogy milyen dokumentumokat kell.
Please, I thought we had a question, but I don't think it's a question. Okay, we've put here the steps as well, as everybody knows or more or less in detail. We will recap some steps. So we have the period between January to March, end of March, and in this period we will need to transmit the invoices. So first of all, the sales, transmit the invoices through to SAP-V within 5 days. Okay. And we have no sanctions for non-compliance with this obligation this period. However, starting with 1st of April, it's okay, symbolic as well for the Romanian 1st of April, but it's not 1st of April as we know it. It's for real, unless they will change something. From 1st of April to 30 June, we have the same obligation, but we will have sanctions for non-compliance, meaning from 1st of as it is right now in the law, from 1st of April, we have to transmit as well the first 3 months of invoices. Okay, so 3 months from behind. Also, the current invoices beginning with 1st of April. So we need to put everything from the history from the beginning of the year and to continue with the current invoices. Otherwise, we have in the legislation the following fines, and they are not very small. They are quite important. Okay, for the taxpayers, we have this threshold, median taxpayers, and for the rest of the companies, from 1,000 to 2,500. We can discuss these amounts per each case, meaning per each invoice. Okay, we have said it, as I said before, until 1st of April, we have the obligation to put in the system, to transmit in the system, to issue, and to send on SAP-V the invoices for the first 3 months of the year. After 1st of July, we will be obliged to transmit only to SAP-V. So we don't have sanctions for this obligation, but as it is right now in the law, if we will not send to CPV. We will be liable to a fine which is equal to the amount of the VAT indicated in the invoice. So if it is this one will remain in the legislation, it's very tough. So at the end, we have the on both of beneficiary on the client, for example, on the supplier. So it goes in both direction, both direction, because the client will not be able to deduct the amount, and the supplier is liable to the VAT indicated in the invoice. Again, companies, we can do this one for we can send, we have prepared as automation as well, the part with the sending of the invoices for the clients, but we have also the part with which is related to the suppliers, with the receiving of the invoices, taking out the invoices from SPV and importing them in the accounting system. I know there are quite a lot of companies which do not have an integrated solution at the moment, or at least on the supplier side. On the client side, to issue the invoices, this is easy, more or less it's covered. There are companies which are not ready at the moment, and also big companies with the clients as well. They are not posting in SPV the invoices. Probably they will be ready in the following months. Gabi, I think we had we had this non-compliance also with we were discussing with the SAF-T. I think at the end of the year 2023, we have also large taxpayers which and this is from the press, which didn't comply with the requirements, correct?
Yes, 10%.
10%. So you can imagine if SAF-T is not submitted by 10% of the large taxpayers, and this requirement is from 2022, so we had 2 years, 24 months. We can imagine what will be happening with the e-invoice. This is a very good example of automating things and keeping the things on an electronic form. This is a big step for automation. Actually, this is another way of Minister of Finance saying, listen, guys, you have to move things to automation. You have to keep the things on an electronic format. And this is it. Even these guys, if they are coming to control, imagine they are coming to control a medium company 2 years, 3 years, and they are saying, okay, because the number of transactions and the volume is very high, they are saying, listen, okay, we have everything on paper. Please expect that we are coming with a truck for you with 150, 200 box files. Good luck. So they will not do this anymore. It was done in the past. I mean, the volume is very high, even for a small company. The small company on 1 year can have a lot of box files. So nobody will come in the future after 12, 18, 24 months to control on paper. They will change the things also on the legislation, on their procedure. They will start requesting slowly everything on electronic form, starting with 2025. If they have SAF-T for all the companies, they will have everything in the system. So they will not ask anymore, please send me sales journals, purchase journals, all the transactions. They will have it in their reports, on their database. They will not even put the questions to request the information. They will do the analysis and they will come with the questions directly. This is a very, this is a straightforward thing, SAF-T and e-invoice to have the automation more present within the companies. Otherwise, you saw there are penalties and they are not joking with the penalties. You know that you saw the tax, the changes to the tax environment at the end of the year. We are not in the position where we can say that we have a lot of money on the state budget and we are very well. They will come and they will collect these fines if the companies will not comply. This is a thing which is certain. It goes to more than 80% probability. Okay, if you have questions, we have done this text that it invites you to think about the future. It's actually put in there and discussed internally before e-invoice. Now the future is already here, so the automation it has come very quickly. All institutions will require more and more information on electronic format. The ERPs, the accounting systems cannot support everything. It is sure that a lot of companies need automation. Not everybody will move to ERPs, I don't know, like SAP or other ERPs to do everything in SAP because it's very, this one is might be very expensive. So the old ways are dying, but are dying very quickly, sort of speaking. We have questions, Elena?
Well, if there are not
In the
questions,
chat,
if there are no questions now, I would have a question in order to address the elephant in the room. Because we
Yes.
talk about automations, there is always the discussion that is this automation going to take the job of one person within a company? This is one question. And the second question,
No.
considering that there is this is a digital product, which is programmed by experts, third-party experts within the company. In case there is an issue, who has the responsibility? I might understand that the company has, but how can an expert within the company check if the robot did the job properly or not? Because at the end of the day, when a control comes, you cannot say if there is an issue, blame it on the robot. How do you usually tackle this?
Okay, thank you. So, first of all, I thought I had one question. Thank you that you have two questions or even more. I'm very happy to answer. First of all, no, the answer is no. The robots will not take the place of the humans because those humans will do other things, more important things, more added value things. Because working in the past like a robot to introduce, I don't know, cases, it goes related to the accounting or other departments. From the sales department, I don't know, offers or documents, or for purchase departments, analyzing a lot of offers from the websites, so on and so forth. Doing repetitive work, it's not an added value work. The repetitive work will be taken now from the schedule, from the calendar of the person, if I can say like this, and other tasks will be delegated to the person. I'm sure that everybody will appreciate at the end that any person can appreciate that at the end we can do other things, more added value. We can think properly. We are not working like robots all the time, and we don't have the time to think what we are doing at the end, because this has happened in the past, and it is happening still. So no, there are things in a lot of companies as we saw, and we have we have seen a lot of history throughout the years. A lot of tasks within the company which are not done properly at the moment, added value things. This will be done by the guys or analysis. Going to your second question. One thing is for a human to record the invoices, for example, if we discuss by invoices, 8 hours per day, at least 10 days per month, or even 20 days per month. And another thing is to reduce this one very fast and to put the person to analyze the invoices, to analyze even the activity of the robot, the results. To answer to your question, the robots that we are doing, you saw, they are finalized with an email. We have examples where we don't have one email, we have 2 emails. In that email, we are putting, explaining the procedure, and we are explaining actually some checks, like the check between the invoice from the supplier and what the robot has imported into the system, where we had the differences of 001 here, for example. Okay, 001. This one is taken and analyzed. One thing is because, for example, from this robot, we have these errors, 1, 2, 3, 5 errors per, let's say, 100 invoices. One is to put the human to correct this one, even if we can correct it automatically, or to analyze, and one is to one person to record the 100 invoices from scratch. So we have within our robots steps to analyze things. Even if here in the email, if you can see, we have invoices which are not facturi neconforme, which are not according to the procedure, 0. We have a coefficient, it's like a percentage of on quality, 100%, if you have errors or not. For example, you have an invoice and that invoice is not interpreted correctly by the robot. You see here in this one, and you see here in the list where you have problems. Yeah, even if, for example, you see cases of, let's say this is an invoice from a supplier, utility invoice, and you can see here, for example, 1,309 with red. You know why we have inserted this one? Because it's an outstanding balance to an utility supplier, which means that this is not okay. You have invoices from behind that you need to pay because you are not up to date with your utilities. What is happening in the future? They will cut the electricity, of course. And it has happened for the client or for other clients, for ourselves as well. Imagine, try to pay, not to pay 2 months DG, for example, or NL, or whatever, hydroelectrica, or to pay to skip 3, 4, 5 invoices. Okay, hydroelectrica, it's a case, current case. Now they move, they have a better system, but you cannot stay months and not to pay the utilities. So this is a measure of checkup for us. Your question, Elena, we are doing checks. We are doing checks at the level of analysis. When we are doing the robot, we are analyzing we are putting down the checks, and we say, listen, for this, for the invoices, we will do 3 checks, 4 checks, if it is necessary. And when we are rolling the robot, and after 1, 2, 3, 4 months, 6 months of experience, if we are, because we are monitoring the robot, okay? If we are seeing other errors that need to be checked, we are putting down from the 3, 4 checks, we are putting down other checks, and we are including also the information for the responsible person, for the client. We are including these checks in order to cover and to make sure that the quality of the robot is at the highest level. By the way, I don't think we mentioned the name of the robot. Our robot is Roger.
Yeah, hi, Roger.
It goes back to many
So
things.
actually what you are saying is that once you implement the robot, you are not out of the project completely. You also stay to monitor the robot, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Correct. The contract includes as well the monitoring part, because it's the maintenance. You have to maintain the robot, because errors might appear. For example, in this case, they are changing the format of the invoice. They included at one point, as we said, the reductions based on, when the price increased on the electricity, the government said, okay, reductions on the invoices. They had a line on the invoice. So you have to correct the robot. We corrected to take into consideration this line. Every time, from time to time, not every time, from time to time, you need to correct and to update the robot, but as well to monitor, to see the errors, or even to see potential errors, and to check other checks, as I mentioned.
Okay, thank you. If there are any other questions, please let us know. Okay, so I see no questions yet. Can we put again, Casian, the contact details of from Proprietăți Finconta, in case people want to come to you and send directly their questions? Thank you for attending our webinar today, and looking forward in seeing you in the other sessions that we are organizing. Thank you so much.
Thank you as
Bye.
well. Thank you as well. All the best.
Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.